and what is ethics and what is morality. How they impact your decision making process, how they impact your overall attitude, personality. Let's move ahead with other concepts, how it is formed, what are its components, okay, and what is the difference between Indian ethos and Western ethos. Some more concepts about ethos in management. So yesterday we had discussed last part was a component of Indian ethos, where we have seen some of the important concepts. Now, need of the Indian ethos. First of all, why we need Indian ethos. Before we actually understand why we need Indian ethos, let's try and see how it is formed and how it is sustained. Okay, a new baby which is born in society. Okay, it is not born with the engineering method. Okay, or they don't born with particular kind of brain. Or, it's just a brain. Like it's not a mind, but brain and mind. There is a difference in brain and mind. Brain is a plain slate. Okay, you can write anything on it. But mind is well developed mind. Okay, it knows how to act in a particular situation, what it means by doing particular activity. So how it converts from brain to mind, that is also a part of Indian ethos, or it is part of culture. Okay, a person who is born in US may be having a different culture. Okay, irrespective of even though I have an Indian parents. Okay, or similarly, there are people who are born in India, they have a different kind of ethos. So how the ethos are formed? Which are the sources of finding ethos? If tomorrow you decide that you want to change this culture, okay, some cultures are there which are not as per the time, okay, or they are traditional, or they are not applicable today. If something is happening like this, so how can you change? What you have to change so that you can change a culture? Okay. So Indian ethos or culture is formed through different documents. Okay, those documents are, or the books are religious books. Okay, religion plays a very, very important role in deciding your ethos. Okay, what is your concept about life after death? Okay, what happens after death? Okay, like in Muslim culture, there is a different, um, different theory about life after death. In Hinduism, there is different. Buddhism, there is different. So every Jainism, there is different. So every religion has something about the life after death. But in Indian culture, if you see most of the religions, they talk about there is a life after death. Okay? And that life is dependent on your karma in this very life. Okay, so whatever good work you do, obviously you will get a better life after death. Okay, but there are some religion which doesn't believe in a life after death. So what they believe, whatever enjoyment you can make, you have to do this very life only. Okay, you don't have another chance. But this principle, like maybe the you see like this is just a particular principle, but this principle has lot of our actions. Lot of our actions are dependent on this thing. Okay, how you treat to your elders, okay, how you treat to children, how you treat other person, how you treat towards poor. Okay, like whatever is so whatever you will hit that. So boyege wo paenge. So these are some of the concepts about a religion which makes a lot of difference in your business decision or in your personality. Okay, in your attitude. Attitude word is bent of mind. Okay, attitude. Like let's take an example of attitude. Suppose you are driving a bike. You are driving a bike, and suddenly you had some quarrel with some other biker. Okay, so there are like there are two choices. Like, there are many choices, but consider there are two choices which you have. One is to start fighting with. Okay, just give an answer to his verbal claim on you and go ahead with the quarrel. Second option is just and ask him carefully. कुछ लगा है क्या आपको? Have you hurt? Okay, and just help him, give him a water, and say sorry, irrespective of whether it's your mistake or not. Okay, there are two choices. So it is based on your attitude. It's not something which you decide at that particular moment. This is instinct. This is your personality. Okay, that gives you attitude. Okay, so every person has a different attitude. Okay, this is towards object or person. Okay, like the moment we say like do you love peace? Yes, everyone will say we love peace. But the moment it comes about Pakistan, okay, everybody will say no, 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 I don't like Pakistan. Or maybe there is some kind of hatred towards Pakistan. Why? Because we have made our this is how, when particular object comes to you, what imagination you have about that particular object is your attitude. Okay, if I say you any politician name and you just close your eyes and whatever you get, that is your attitude. How your bent mind towards a particular object or what is your reaction towards particular action is your attitude. Okay, students' attitude towards education may be something different. They consider education as something which is boredom, or this is something which is forced on us, or whether education is something which leads us to, which leads us to freedom, which leads us to the, having a knowledge. Like whatever your attitude is, that depends how likely you will enter into that activity. Okay, if children thinks it's a boredom, it's a forceful activity, obviously they will never like education, or they will never go for education. But somebody who thinks it is a door to knowledge, or it is something which will a real purpose of life, or it will lead me towards a real purpose of life, then maybe even after having unfavorable situation, children or the kids will go for education. That is their attitude. What we have to develop attitude. Okay, attitude is the most important thing. So your ethos are developed from your attitude. Okay, or your attitude is developed from your ethos. So both are vice versa. Okay, so now next question comes, like we have said the baby bonds with a plain slate or plain plate. So how come he gets all the culture, or how come we got all the culture of a society? Okay, so there are certain institutes which helps to create or sustain this ethos. So which are those institutes? Religion, family, education. Okay, these are some of the institutions which are creating ethos. Okay, they are creating good human being according to society. Okay, according to society, somebody who respects elder, okay, who makes money, or who respects woman, okay, or somebody who will wake up Saturday at 6 o'clock, or whatever ethos we have. So these are the ethos which are given by family, marriage, education, okay, religion. So these are the if you really want to make change in the society, you have to make changes in these institutions, like change education, change religion, change education method, okay, or change a family system, or thought process of a family. So this is a work culture. So this is how you make changes or sustain changes. Okay, in culture. So how they are sustained? How they are sustained? Let's take one example. We have to rush very fast because we don't have time to spend on this. But still, I'm giving you introduction about every topic. So how they are sustained? Let's take an example. Marriage. Marriage is an institute. I said marriage is an institute. There is a thinker called Manny University. Manny University defines what is marriage. He is saying, like, we think it's a pious activity, or it is about that seven peras, or it is religious trade. So what is Manny University's marriage definition? He is saying marriage is it's socially approved. Marriage is socially approved. Okay, contract to have a sexual contact with the partner. Why we require a social approval for having a sexual contact? Because there is something called a private property. If man and woman doesn't know to whom they are contacting, or to whom they are having sexual contact, maybe the children they will have, the progeny they will have, that will not be a legal progeny. So first of all, what you require a legal progeny. Why you require legal progeny? To have to sustain or to safeguard your private property. If man is making a property or earning a property, that is a private property, individual property. Definitely they require somebody who will take care of their private property. Otherwise, people will come, like, and when he is old or he is not able to manage that property, obviously people will come and they will snatch property from him. So he required some legal heir to take care of his property. So how can you have a legal heir? Obviously, you have to undergo one institution, that is marriage. Okay, after you enter into legally marriage, legal way of marriage, socially approved way of marriage, you will have one progeny or one children. So once you have a children, obviously it's parents' responsibility to give them all the required or teach him all the required rules, regulations of society. So even when children born, and by the time he enters to school, he has already learned a lot of social ethos or Indian ethos. Okay, so how to wake up, how to sing, how to behave in a funeral, how to behave in a marriage. So there are so many ethos, or there are so many part of culture which is taught by family. So similarly, education also does the same role. Religion also does the same role. Okay. So every institution which is there in society, or which is created by society, it is society has created. It is not like religion or they are self-born. They are actually created by society. This is what most of the management gurus are saying. I'm not against any religion or any thought process, but this is what, if you think in a logical way, you will realize who created them. Like when I went for FCI interview, Food Corporation of India interview, so there we had a group discussion topic, and the topic was whether God created man or man created God. Okay, maybe you are thinking, sir, why we are going for this philosophical exercise? I think this is one of the most important subject to change your attitude. Okay, it is not only about your hard work, job. No, it's not like there are so much things which are involved in life where you have to ensure you manage your work-life balance. Okay, and even entrepreneurs look whether you have this capability or you will just succumb to stress, because stress is anyhow stress is going to be there in your life. So, but how you look at the stress or how you handle that stress, that makes a difference in individual life. Okay, then that is our attitude. Okay, whenever there is a stress, you consider it's a part and parcel of it. So there is nothing to worry. Rather, we will try to come out of the stress. There is one personality. Another personality, oh, I have a stress. So they start drinking or whatever activity, or they start taking attention. Ultimately, that affects their health. Either they resign from a job saying it's a health issue or I'm not able to cope up, or by some or other way, they will not be a productive unit for entrepreneur or for organization. So similarly, when I went for an interview, there was a group discussion. Topic was whether God created a man or man created God. Okay, and that was a fantastic topic that we had a very good discussion on that topic. So how you get a knowledge about such topics? Obviously, you will get knowledge of such topics, of such subjects. Okay, this is a utility of Indian ethos in management. Okay, so let's see some of the Indian ethos, need of Indians, why we need Indian ethos actually at the first place. Management attitude. Obviously, based on ethos, you create your attitude. Okay, like in the Indian fundamental duties, it is mentioned that you should involve your worker into a decision-making process. Okay, that gives a sense of ownership. When you call your employees to discuss particular thing or to make a decision on particular subject, when you discuss, obviously you will see they will also have a sense of ownership. They will say our company, in our organization. So this is what this is sense of decision making. If you just give them like this is not your job, you just do your job, and this is a management job or it's owner's job. So we will look into that. Obviously, that will create a dividation. And that will not be a uh, good sense of a good sense of a business. Okay. I will tell you whenever we used to decide particular activity in my personal life, when I was RSM in Himalaya, I always used to call my team. Okay, I always used to call my team like this is a problem and this is what the management is expecting from you, but we are not able to deliver. What do you suggest? So the moment they start speaking, they like market has a solution for everything. The moment you give them ownership, obviously they come with their 100% potential, maybe 110% of potential. Okay, so and they will turn everything which is not possible. They will turn into a possibility. Okay, because this is what that gives them a confidence. That is gives them a sense of ownership. Okay, they get some kind of a respect. No, it's not others' company. It's my company, and I have to work for it. And if I achieve this, obviously it's not only me, but my organization is also going to get a benefit. So you have to change your attitude towards your employees. It's there are many kind of leadership. There is autocracy leadership. Autocratic leadership means they always command. They always command like after every call they are saying, see, this is what you have to achieve or this is what you have to complete. If you are not able to achieve or if you are not able to complete, then like, see, I have to take a decision. That means after every call, after every week, they give you some kind of intimation that if you don't perform this, then we will fire you. This thing will work. This thing will work, and maybe that is required, but that is required in such extent. Okay, डर उतना ही दिखाओ कि डर बना रहे. There is fear. Have a fear. Keep fear alive. But that fear should have a limit. If every time you are using the same tool, then ultimately employee will lose any kind of fear. They don't have any kind of fear. Okay, sir, if you want to fire me, you can fire me, but this is not going to happen. The moment he says or utters these words, remember, your respect will enter. The moment employee will say, sir, if you want to fire me, I don't mind. I have other job, but this is responds to you, your respect will end there. Okay, because this is the only fear you have created, or this was the only tool you had against your enemy. Rather than this, change your attitude, give them ownership. Always have a guiding image of a guiding person. Don't create an image of a boss. Always create, whenever you stop or whenever you have a problem, call me, I will help you. So create this kind of image. So there is no end to your superiority, because they will always consider you. Okay, whenever there's a problem, my boss will help. Whenever they are in trouble, my boss will help. Sometimes maybe you have to go against the flow, but stand with your efforts. Stand with your efforts. That particular moment, they will get a lot of confidence. Alright, going ahead, and see, firing is not a solution. Obviously, firing is not a solution. Okay, if you like, it's maybe problem of a system. If you hire one person, fire one person, maybe another person will have the same problem. So what you will do, you will again fire him. So that will continue. So rather than firing a person, change the system, change person. That will be more sustainable. And how can you do this? You can do this by changing your attitude. Firing a person is can never be a solution. Okay, in extreme position, maybe that is possible. Like person is completely careless, or is completely lethargic person. Maybe that is okay. But normally in 90% of the cases, it is problem with the system. It is not a problem with person. So change your attitude and change the person, or change person's attitude, okay, or organization attitude. Somewhere you will find a solution there. Okay, it is not about a person. Nobody wants to leave their job. Okay, so this is the utility of attitude. Change a bent of mind. Change the thinking process. Humanizing organization, obviously, like why we need Indian Ethos, because it gives a more feeling of oneness. Okay, it's a teamwork. People will not consider themselves as an individual. They will always consider themselves as a part. Suppose in a cricket team, everybody wants to work for themselves. Like a batter, or somebody who is going for batting, he is playing slowly and wants to make 100, irrespective of what happens with other team or team score. That team will never sustain. So what you have, like, once I got a chance to meet with Virendra Sehwag. He was a brand ambassador of a Boost that time. Okay, so I was in Mumbai, in a hotel. We went for a lunch. So while sitting with him, I asked him. So that time will be very tough when you are starting from your rest home. You are entering into ground and playing on a pitch. So that time maybe a 3 4 minutes or 2 minutes, whatever time it takes to reach to that pitch. So what you think, and what you think, or what you do in this particular time to maintain your temperament or to maintain your attitude? So he said, I do nothing. I just think, I just think of in this mean or in this time, I just think about what is that my team require for me. Every time I don't think about making 100 or 200. What I think, maybe there is a situation where I just have to make a 30 40 runs, but within a 10 balls. Okay, that may be expectation. So that time I don't care about my wicket, or I don't care about 100. Okay, maybe sometime I don't have to make much runs, but I have to be I have to be ensure that I'm on a pitch for a long time, because maybe there is a sudden fall of wicket, so maybe other side doesn't have that score, but the only thing required is playing 50 overs. Okay, even if we play 50 overs, maybe we can make that run, like maybe 200 is target, 190 is the target. So there is something which I always think, that is what my team requires from me. And that really a very good question. Like every time you cannot make a century, or every time you cannot do something which is unexpected. Maybe many a time you have to do just a normal thing, but you have to understand what is that normal thing. So even while we're talking about humanizing organization, you have to always understand you are a part of team. You are a part of larger team. Maybe in an organization you are a team, maybe in a society you are a team, maybe in a family you are a team. So everywhere you are a part of team. Don't consider yourself an individual, and your individual achievement will lead to some kind of miracle. More than that, try to make your achievement in a team, so that your achievement will help others too, right? So this is humanizing organization, that giving a feeling of oneness to team. Okay, that is how organization builds, where people, each department knows that they are dependent on other department. So why they think they are dependent on other department? Because it is part of Indian ethos. Okay, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. We universe is our family. Okay, every other person is someone other way our brother or sister. Okay, and they are connected with us. Okay, it is actually humanity, being human. Okay, so this is humanizing organization is possible by need of Indian ethos. Okay, many a time you have a feeling that Jesse Karni, Jesse Bharni. Okay, so what you do, you will get that. Okay, so obviously, like by working on these principles, always you try to behave in a good way with others, because if I don't do this, somebody else will come and shout on me. So better we also start having a proper attitude. So this is humanizing organization. Interiorizing or self-management, obviously. Indian ethos tells, set your attitude, how your inner concerns will be ready. Okay, so self-management is about self-awareness, self-action. So this is a part of Indian ethos. Your mentality or your thinking process before taking any action is dependent on your self-management, like anger management or whatever situation that is demands. Okay, are you going with are you under control, or uh, you're just forced by somebody else or from a third party? If you have self-control, if you know this is right for me, this is not right for me, definitely nothing can affect you. But the moment you are dependent on somebody else, then everything, like, or if you keep your remote control to somebody else, then whatever they want or whatever they like, they will play that way. Okay, if they want you to make angry, they will make you angry. That is it. तेरे बारे में ये बोल रहे थे, तेरे बारे में वो बोल रहे थे. So this is how every time people can control you. But if you have intelligence, if you are under your own control, then people cannot make changes or they cannot control you. This is a part of Indian ethos. Okay, self introspection. Self introspection means thinking about meditating, thinking about closing your eyes, and thinking about your own action. Okay, thinking about your own action, what is happening? Is it my mistake or what is it? So you close your eyes, you go into a past, and you think in an internal way what is happening with you and why this is happening. Is it my mistake? It is somebody else's mistake, or what we can do to control the problems, okay, or to have a control on situation. So this is self introspection. And time again, it's like why we go for meditation, because once we go for meditation, we spend time with ourselves. When we go for meditation, we spend time with ourselves, and that time we realize what is happening in our life. We are not just working like a machine. Morning 9 o'clock, you are going to office, waking up 8 o'clock, preparing yourself for office, going for office, and coming to office from 7 or 8 o'clock, then watching some time TV, and then again sleeping. And next you have the same working routine. So you are not giving time for society, you are not giving time for family. Okay, you are running just behind making the money. So this is where you require introspection. Okay, am I giving time for self? Am I giving time for family? Okay, am I giving time for society? Or what productive activity am I doing? Suppose you are just going for office and you are doing the same job. Same job in the sense, suppose there is somebody who is in the bank, and his job is cashier. He is taking a statement or whatever slip you have. He is counting a cash and giving that cash to a customer. Suppose he is doing the same job from years together. What will happen to that person? Just imagine his life, like every day morning he is going to bank, sitting at a cashier position, taking a slip from a customer, counting a cash, giving that cash to customer. And that job he is doing from years together. Okay, so that is where a role of Karl Marx comes, where he says, such situation is detrimental for individual, because individual never realize what is happening with them. They never go for introspection. They think this is my destiny, or this is what life means. Okay, they never try to see what others are doing, what can be a way to have a better life. So to time and time you have to go for introspection to understand what is happening with you, why this is happening with you. Do you need to make any change in your life? If you want to make a change, what you can. So this is again taught by our Indian ethos. Okay, going again and again for meditation, or whenever you go for vacation. What is vacation actually? Vacation is nothing but it is time for self introspection. Okay, when you go for a vacation, there is nobody who can control you. There is no boss. Okay, you go whatever you want to wear, you wear. There is no formality. Okay, you want to wear short, you can wear a short. Okay, you want to wake up at 11 o'clock, you can wake up at 11 o'clock. So whatever you want to do, you do. That's why you like vacation. And that doesn't require, for a vacation you have to go to some foreign country. You can go to a nearest place, but still if there is no control on you, that itself is a vacation. Okay. Why newly married people want to go for a honeymoon? Because there is no control on them. Okay, they are enjoying complete freedom. There is nobody who is having surveillance on them. क्या कर रहे हो, कब कर रहे हो, कब उठ रहे हो. There is no surveillance. Okay, you can do whatever you want. That is what enjoyment. So if suppose imagine if we create a situation where we don't have any control on us, there is no supervision on us. Even when we are in a normal life or whenever we are at home, every day is a vacation. Every day is vacation. Okay, right? So this is how you have to live a conscious life. I used a word saying a conscious life. Conscious life in the sense you are not just running behind the society. Like somebody is going in a particular direction, you also went on that. Rather than you also have to continuously introspect yourself where you are going. Is it a way which I wanted to choose? This is a life which I wanted to live, or I wanted something else. If I wanted something else, so what I'm doing here? So let's change the track. So this is what we mean by self-introspection, okay, or a role of individuals. See, everything is taught to us by our parents, education, but again, our attitude decides whether we are accepting this, whether we are implementing these things in our life, or do we have that filter to check which is right and which is wrong. If you don't have that filter, everything directly comes to you, then obviously that will not be a conscious life. Okay. Again, a conscious life, just one example on a conscious life which we recently discussed. So there are some friends I had, they are from IMs, some are from IITs. So they are working in a Bangalore. So I was discussing with them. What do you think? Like I left my job and I'm now full time into teaching. Okay, but those people are still into corporate. So we are discussing what's your schedule. So they say my schedule is like working from Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, complete enjoyment, like booze, whatever, weed, whatever they want to do, they do it on a Saturday, Sunday, and that's how we enjoy our life. And again, Monday go back to work. So this is not a conscious thing. Okay, they are just working like a machine. They have set their biological clock in such a way that Monday to Friday they don't think about anything like morning to evening, job, coming home, sleeping. That's it. What they enjoy Saturday, Sunday, and obviously their definition of enjoyment is also different. Okay. But living a conscious life in the sense, you should understand how much money you require. Okay, if I require this much money to live a better life, I will work for only those many hours which are essential to work. I will not spend an entire day to make money because that money I don't require. Okay. So you have a proper recipe of your life. How much money I require, how much time I require, and how I want to spend the money, how I want to spend the time. Okay. So there are so many things which you decide independently by doing the introspection or living a conscious life. You know what is happening in your life. Okay, it is not something like there was a WhatsApp message, maybe something which I should not discuss, but even on a WhatsApp you get something very innovative things. There is a game called a temple run. Okay, temple run, and that person is running continuously. That person is running continuously to correct the path, but we don't know what is the end, or nobody has reached to that end. Okay, so there is like something similar happening in life. We are running for correcting points. There is no end to it. Okay, that person is not taking any rest, or that person is not going for any kind of you know relaxation. Okay, so this is how we are running. Okay, a similar situation happening with us. So this is how I mean by self introspection or consciousness. Brain stealing. Brain stealing is, see, Western concept for the brainstorming. Brainstorming is you call for a team. You call for a team. What is brainstorming? Suppose you have a problem. You again post a problem in front of your team, and continuously everybody gives a solution, and everybody present their thought on that particular problem. So ultimately, what you are doing, you are creating an environment where everybody is using their brain to to make some contribution towards this problem or solving this problem. So this is a brainstorming. But Indian ethos always talks about brain stealing in the sense rather than going into public and talking about your decision or asserting your opinion. We are more interested in going in a silent, sitting for meditation, and then trying to think about a particular problem, and ultimately you will get a solution for it. And there are many scientists who have accepted this. that whenever they are silent, there is some problem. Like even you can experience in Europe, like, there is some problem, or you are looking for something but you are not getting it. Suppose something is lost, okay, like pen or whatever, some small thing is lost, and you are looking for it, searching for it, but you are not getting it. Okay, and again you go suddenly and sit at some place, and you are doing your own work. Suddenly that clicks to your mind. Acha, that pen I kept in a particular drawer, and you go and open the drawer, the pen will be there because you have belief in your power, brain power. Okay, so brain stealing is go sit in a silent, make decision in a peace. Make decision in peace. Don't make any decision where you are very happy or very sad. Okay, or you are very, very emotional, or any kind of emotion is affecting your thinking process. So brain stealing is again thinking in a peace. Okay, again try for this thing. Okay, stepping back in a sense. Sometimes you have to step back to either maintain relationship or having a time to think. Okay, don't go with your intuitions. Maybe intuitions are not always right or always wrong, but again going with the intuition may be having some kind of a risk. So step back, take a time, think about a particular activity, and then take action. There is a high probability that that particular action will have a more better results. This is what we mean by stepping back. So stepping back is not always a negative term. Okay, stepping back is not a negative term. Like in a Rowdy Rathod he says, "शेर जब दो कदम पीछे हटता है तो वो डर कर नहीं बल्कि झपक नहीं." So this is stepping back. Take 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 a pause. Think about action. Think about a situation. Then make a decision. Obviously, that will give a more fruitful results. Dynamizing meditation. Obviously, Indian ethos in every philosophy, in every like you go for Sufism, you go for Hinduism, you go for Jainism, you go for Buddhism, you go for any religion. Obviously, in Indian or in Indian origin religion, you will always find there is a scope for meditation. Every religion promotes meditation. Okay, now what is meditation? Meditation is nothing but being with yourself. Meditation is being with yourself. It is not something which is some mechanism is there or there is something very different to do it. It's not that. Just you have to sit for 15, 10 minutes, close your eyes, and just be with yourself. That's it. So that depends on your capacity, how much time you can be with yourself. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Initially, maybe more than 5 minutes, you will not be able to sit, or you will not be able to think about yourself. After 5 minutes, you start roaming here and there. Okay, like maybe physically you are sitting there, but your brain is roaming here and there. You just recall what happened in the office or what happened to that person. Okay, so this is how you develop your capacity to think about self. Okay, be with yourself for some more time. This is what a meditation is. Okay, this will give you a more better idea about your own life. You will understand what is happening with your life. So that's why meditation is very, very important. Okay, role of intuition, feeling. Obviously, intuition has a role, and you have to develop your intuition in such a way. You have to develop your intuition in such a way that it will always gives a positive results. Okay, and intuition is nothing but your attitude. Okay, role of attitude. So how you develop attitude? Suppose somebody is coming suddenly saying something, you also react there. So that is immediate action where don't have a time to think. But if you have developed your attitude in such a way that okay, person is not wrong, that situation may be wrong. Okay, so I don't have to shout or don't have to fight with the person, but I have to understand the situation. So this is your attitude. Trust me, you will never fight with anyone. You will never fight with anyone. And if you are not fighting, definitely other person will also be not interested in fighting. Okay, but the moment the other person sees that other person, like the person who is in front of it, he is also calling, then that gets into a physical violence or quarrel. But if you think very silently, or if you are having a smile on your face, or if you are completely normal, trust me, even that other person will not be interested in fighting. In fact, that person will have a shame on self, like that person is behaving in such a positive way, and I'm going into negative way. So this was a technique which is always used by Gandhi. Okay, so this is what we mean by intuition, stepping back, meditation, self-introspection, conscious life, attitude, self-management, anger management. There are so many things which are taught by our Indian ethos, and we need Indian ethos to have a better attitude or to have a better conscious life. some insights about Indian ethos. Indian ethos provides that business need not be regarded evil. Okay, normally we have stigmatized capitalism. Stigmatized capitalism in the sense, like whenever we watch movie or whenever we uh, go for some kind of a ethical speaker. Normally, what they go for stigmatizing capitalism. Stigmatizing capitalism means अमीर लोग हमेशा बुरे होते हैं. Okay, or the rich people always become a rich by exploiting some poor people. So this is always a concept. Okay, but we are going to build a business. We are going to provide some kind of services to people. We are going to make a money. But if we have that attitude, maybe we will never become a businessman. Or we will also have a similar attitude. Okay, so like many times we say just to satisfy our own ego, these rich people will never be happy. Okay, why? Because they don't have peace in their home. Peace lies only in slums. Okay, or in a middle class family. Actually, rich people never have peace. So this is some way we convince ourselves, अरे उनके घर में खुशी नहीं होती. See, somehow we convince ourselves that business community is always evil. But this is not evil. Okay, need not be regarded evil, tainted, and unfair. Business is a sacred activity. In fact, if you read Max Weber, okay, Max Weber is a very big thinker. He has given a concept of bureaucracy. So whatever you see in a bureaucracy, like government officers, and these things are given by Max Weber. It's a big thinker even in a management. So he has wrote one theory, one book. That book is Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism. Okay, Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism. He said, that religion defines or religion decides which community or which religion will grow in business. Okay, if you look at Protestant ethics, okay, forget about Protestant ethics. Maybe some of us are not aware of Protestant ethics and Catholicism. But look at into Indian scenario. Most of the Jains are big businessmen. Okay, why most of the Jains are into a big business? Why most of the Marwaris are into big business? Why Muslim community is comparatively poor? It is religious people. This is not me saying. This is Max Weber says. Okay, what he's saying. Okay, if you look at their religious principles, okay, if you look at their religious principles, they are such that they promote capitalism or they promote business. Like in Jainism, they think, you know, your work is to spread the word of God. Your job is to spread word of God. Okay, how you can spread? By donating a money. Okay, by promoting some kind of activity where you are helping to community, like having dharamshala for your students. Okay, providing some kind of benefits or some kind of scholarship to your students. Okay, helping your friends to do their business. And who are their friends? Obviously from the same community. Okay, so this is how to make this. To make this, you have to earn money. Okay, work is worship. Okay, work is worship. That means every work is important. Okay, don't look at what kind of work you're doing. Just devote yourself to work, make money, and then contribute towards community. So obviously, if I have to contribute towards my community, I have to make money. And to make a money, I have to consider work is a workshop. So I have to devote my time towards my job. That's why every like most of the giants you will find they are into business. Okay, they are doing something good in their own. Okay, look at Muslim community in India. Okay, obviously they spend huge time in worship, Path Samaj. Second thing, they don't go for interest. Okay, they consider taking or giving interest is unethical according to religion. So since they don't go for a banking system or they don't believe in interest rate or giving or taking interest rate, they will never involve into something loan, giving or accepting loan. And that is important activity for business. Okay, and they believe lot on donation. Okay, Khairat. So since they believe lot in donation, they believe see, whatever we are earning, okay, whatever we are earning, anyhow we have to donate it. So if we have donated, that doesn't give any motivation to save money. Okay, these are some of the like what observation which Max Weber has mentioned about a different community, like even about the Hinduism. He has mentioned why Hinduism is not able to grow to that level because we believe more in karma. Okay, we believe more in karma, and there are certain things like making a profit is also against karma. Okay, making a huge profit is also against karma. So you should go for a social entrepreneurship. So, okay, you should move into a donation kind of. rather than entering into making a profit. Okay, we have more trust in life after death. So what we see, like, this like my work or my actions in this life will have impact on my next life. So what I have to do this is like spend time for worship, okay, or help others, help poor. So there are certain things which as a religious principle work as a hindrance for particular to become a capitalist or to become a businessman. This is what he had mentioned in a book called Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism. So even here, business is sacred. Okay, business is a sacred activity. It has nothing to do with ethical or unethical. It is a matter of attitude, approach, and level of management consciousness. Okay, how you manage, what is your approach, what is your attitude, that defines your business. Going with this, there is one management group from India, CK Prahlad. He has given a theory of bottom of the pyramid. So he has also said the similar thing. Okay, which is again why Indian management group will say this thing. Okay, because again it is a part of Indian ethos. He has said in a theory called bottom of the pyramid. He has said, okay, it is not that always business community or capitalism is stigmatized or they are evil. Okay, what we have to find? We have to find a middle path. Again, middle path or Madhyana Marg is given by our Indian philosophers like Gautam Buddha, Mahavir Jain. Okay, Gandhiji, they have given a middle path. So what is middle path? Middle path in the sense, don't look at things into black and white. Always find that gray area. दोनों को खुश रखो. Make both happy. So how can we do that? Being a capitalism, make such products, make such products which actually have affordable cost, and that will make some change. That will make some change in poor people life. Okay, in this way you will be able to sell a mass product. Okay, if you are able to sell a mass product, obviously you will make a better profit as well as a living of standard or standard of living of those poor people will increase. Okay, this is win-win situation for both. Like, if I have to give an example of a business, suppose there is a Baiju. Okay, Baiju is targeting out the top 5 to 10% of customers who are having a good paying capacity. Okay, because for even for a fifth class, sixth class, they charge around 20 to 25,000 rupees. That is different that they have a time-based model. Okay, but still 25 to 30,000 for a student matters a lot for for poor people. So what you can do? Can you create a product where you can provide education at as cheap as maybe 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees per student? That is affordable for even for a poor people because education is something which cannot be given for free, but something which is manageable. 1,000, 2,000. Imagine you have a 90% of the market for Baiju has only 10% of the market. You have a 90% of the market. You will sell to mass. When you are selling to mass, there is economy of scale. Economy of the scale in the sense you are selling it to large number of people. So even if you make a smaller profit, still you are able to sustain or you are able to make a big profit. And this is ultimately giving a best education to poor people or maybe those people who doesn't have access to good education. Rural area, urban area, okay, there will not be any division. Okay, you can go to micro towns where you are having maybe 100 or 50 families. Okay, because it's the internet era, you can reach to anyone. So this is what we call business is not evil. How you approach it, that makes a difference. Okay, like even during COVID, there were many people who have started their hospitals, COVID center. There were few people who are making or who are using this particular situation to make a profit. And there are chemists who made huge profit in this COVID situation. Okay, they made lakhs, crores of rupees. But there are some doctors who have never prescribed any, like they normally never prescribe any antibiotics until and unless it is necessary. They never recommend patient for some kind of test until and unless it is necessary. They never recommend patient to go for IPD until and unless it is required. So there are people who are having ethical approach towards business, or there are some people who are having a positive attitude towards business. But there are some people who look for business as a center for making a profit. So it is their grade. It is not a mistake of business. Money is money. Money is neither black. Money is not white. Okay, it's people who make it a black and white by paying or not paying taxes. Money itself is a money that has the same capacity when it goes to poor person or when it goes to rich person. But somebody use it for a positive way or somebody use it for negative way. So Indian economy is saying business is second. Everyone should enter into business or try to enter into business. It's
not something you should consider business is unsacred or unsacred. Sacred in the sense it is something called as a religiously approved thing. Okay, going for this thing is a sacred. One can do business, make money, earn profit, build a property, and even that can be managed with a recognition to human and ethical values and respecting all persons in the enterprises. I think this particular line is saying everyone can do business, can make money, can make profit, can have a private property. There is nothing wrong. Only thing is you can have an ethical approach or apply ethical demands. Okay, don't go for unethical practices. Making money is essential, no doubt. Making money is essential, but to make a money, you cannot kill somebody, you can hurt somebody, or you cannot go for something like lottery system of business. Okay, so always follow ethical path to make a business, and that ethical path will always be accepted by society, and you will be always called honest. Okay, as long as there are people, Ratan Tata. Okay, he has a huge respect not only in India but throughout the world. He donates most of his earning. Okay, and he always try to involve into ethical practices. Okay, they always try to Elon Musk. They always try to do something for a society, and they are making a profit. No doubt, they are making a profit. But that is not something which is unethical. But if somebody is having lottery shop or running some what we call gambling center, that is something unethical. Maybe they are making money, but that is not ethical. Society will never give them the respect, irrespective of whatever money they have. The society will never give them respect, or that respect will not be sustainable. Like somebody in front of them will say, "Yeah, it's बहुत बड़े हो गए," but but once they turn their their face, obviously people will start talking about that because this is something which is not sustainable. People will never respect this. Some officer who has become a rich by doing corruption, people will never respect him. Like maybe in front of him, if they're looking at his power, maybe they will help him or they will praise him. But the moment he will be in a need, nobody will step out to help him. Why? Because this is not sustainable. That is not accepted in Indian ethos. Okay, managerial effectiveness under Indian ethos and management. Okay, so there is a comparison between Western management and management based in Indian ethos or Eastern management. Okay, belief, production, productivity, profit at any cost. So what they are thinking, or what is the capitalist model of a Western management, or you can say USA. USA completely follows a capitalist model where they think who are having a merit or it is completely merited based on meritocracy. If we have a capacity, if we can produce a product which customer are ready to buy, or you are able to make a profit, make it. It's a complete freedom. That is called less is fair, given by Adam Smith. Okay, there is a free hand to business community. If you can make a profit, make profit. But in India, maybe we have a profit clause. Okay, you cannot make a profit beyond a certain limit, or there is anti-competition law, or obviously Indian ethos itself. Like, your consciousness will say, tell you, I don't sell at such a high cost because this is something your landing price, and you are selling at a double or triple price. So this is not a genuine thing. So obviously, from internally, irrespective of whatever law you have, internally you will get that feeling that you should not make a very high profit. Material gain with belief in achieving human and social welfare also. So you always think it is not only about making a money, but also I have to win a people. Okay, and I have to contribute towards social welfare. If I take 300 rupees for 100 rupees of goods from that person will may not be able to spend that 100 rupees or 200 rupees on like a very essential activity, or maybe that person has worked hard to make that 300 rupees. So we have that emotional angle too when we make a profit. Guidance, management guided by mind only, led away by ego and desire, soulless and management. Okay, so it is completely a mind which controls their business. There is no space for heart, or there is no space for emotions. But in Indian ethos, management by conscious power, beyond mind, that is soul, enterprising management. So here Indian businessmen focus on a consciousness that is much bigger than mind. Okay, where we have emotion for space for our emotions. Emphasizes worker development management of others, profit maximization, human being given only lip sympathy. See, lip sympathy in the sense they will just say about sympathy. They never act in a sympathetic way. So in India, we are not only sympathetic, but we are compassionate towards our employees. Okay, there is empathy, and there is compassion. So what is sympathy? Sympathy is just understanding others' pain. Okay, I recognize that this person or this employee is in a pain. That is okay. It's a sympathy. Okay, but you are not doing anything. Whereas going one step, that is empathy. Empathy is you try to be in that person's place. Okay, wearing that person's shoes to understand what pain is feeling. So there is one step higher than sympathy, that is empathy. But compassionate means it is sympathy plus action or empathy plus action. You are not only understanding the pain of that person, but you are also taking efforts. You are also taking efforts to help that person. And this is what we mean as being an Indian. Development of man, integrated growth, harmony, happiness, and health and management of self. So we give integrated approach. We try to be in harmony with everyone. We try to spread happiness and health for everyone and self. So there is sympathy, empathy, and compassion. We believe in compassion. Even there is recently last year, Narayan Murthy has used one word, that is compassionate capitalism. Okay, compassionate capitalism. That means even capitalist people or business people have to be compassionate. Okay, if your company is going to loss, consider that company is going to loss. Even even a manager or directors who are sitting on a very high post, making a very big salary, they should from their self, they should take a step to reduce their salaries. Why? Because many employees who are not getting salaries, or many employees who are not getting enough salaries, and what salary management is giving, that is a huge amount. So they can reduce that amount and they can help the poor people or the lower class employees. So this is a compassionate capital. So capitalism cannot be always to make a profit, but to help society. Social entrepreneurship are coming. Okay, NGOs are there. So what they are doing? They are not there to make a profit. They are there to make change in society. So this is what we mean by Indian ethos in management, or some of the differences we have seen into Western management and in Eastern management. Eastern management is majorly Indian ethos. Okay, like what we believe, we never considered our employee as assets. Sorry, as a resource. We consider them as assets. Okay, so employee are assets for organization, whereas Western management says these are the sources for organization. The moment you call it a sources, obviously you try to exploit it as much as possible. Okay, जितना ज़्यादा काम करवा सकते हो उतना ज़्यादा काम करवा. So if a person is can work for 12-15 hours, let them do it for 12-15 hours. Okay, because this is how you use resources. But when you call human as asset, you want to preserve it. You want to ensure that these assets are with you. Okay, you never allow them to switch. Okay, or you try to retain them. This is what we mean by assets. Or whenever we call something as assets, we always keep them, or these are always dear to us. So these are some of the differences between Indian ethos and Western ethos. Okay, problem solving approach. There is a different problem solving approach. Decision making. We have discussed about brainstorming. That is a round table approach where everybody is saying something about the particular problem. Whereas India goes for brainstorming. Brainstorming in sense entering the room of timeless silence. Okay, and that room of timeless silence is meditation. Okay, sitting quietly and thinking about a problem and how can we solve this particular problem. And suddenly you will get answer to it, because your entire system, like it's not only your brain, your entire system is working towards finding a solution for that problem, and that is human potential, which we never realize. Okay, I forgot the name of a thinker, but he was trying to balance one ring in chemistry. He was like carbon cycle, I guess. He was trying to balance, and there was a need of four valency to balance that chemical cycle. So he was not able to understand how can we balance this. And suddenly, when I was sleeping, or when I was into a deep thought, he has realized, or he has saw snake. He saw a snake which is sleeping in a round shape. Okay, and from where he got idea, like the last carbon can contribute towards two carbon. The last vacancy can contribute towards two carbon if it is in round shape. So ultimately, he got a solution. Like this can happen. Okay, even in 3 idiots, like 3 idiots, after singing a song, he realized that sacrifice this way, he can use that helicopter or that created by John. Okay, so this is what we mean by try your own life, try a try importance or try a power of meditation. Like just try for 3 4 days and you will get that confidence. You are completely under your own control. Okay, and you will have a better understanding about a situation. Okay, business ethos principle participated by Indian companies. Okay, some of the things which are business community or business ethos, these are considered as the important ethos in an Indian corporate world. Okay, Indian companies are guided by certain rules of conduct in form of ethical and moral standards. Some of the business ethos principles practiced in the listed below. Principle of sacrifice. Okay, so sacrifice, there are two kind of things. One as give and take. Okay, so the individual is trained by the principle of sacrifice for the process of give and take. A person who is willing to sacrifice part of his bread or effort commands a superior place in the organization. So whenever a person who is ready to sacrifice something, they always get a higher position, higher respect in organization. Somebody who always plays the politics, one or other day will lose his respect in organization. Okay, so our award and punishment system, our award reward system decides what kind of culture you have. Okay, so if your company has a culture where sacrifice is given importance, then obviously other people or other company employees will also follow a principle of sacrifice. If your company always believes on something which gives focus on assertion, okay, those who are presenting themselves or promoting themselves, they will get a promotion. So obviously everyone will run to promote themselves. Okay, they will do to perform a very small act, but they will show into microscope in a very large way. Okay, that's how everyone will try to promote themselves. But in India, we don't follow this culture. We will try to see who is actually working in silence or who is a real karta behind this action. Okay, and management will come to know. Don't worry, management will come to know who is actually contributing a lot towards achievement of this goal and who is just making a verbal communication or verbal contribution towards achievement. So organizations will definitely come to know and they will give a promotion or kind of a place, a better superior place to those people who are making better sacrifice. Principle of harmony. Okay, we always try to avoid conflict and frictions. Okay, that's why in India we don't allow any kind of strikes, or protest by employees. Okay, we always believe in a communication. Sit and solve a problem. Okay, if you have a representative from your employee class, send that representative or that leader to management, discuss about the problem and solve the problem. There is no point in going for a strike or protest or affecting any kind of organization property. Okay, even like whenever we have a protest on road, people normally burn buses. Okay, they destroy government property, private property. So this is something which never be appreciated by Indian government. But if you look into Western countries, there is always scope. There is always scope for going for a protest. Maybe there they go for a silent protest, unlike the like burning of buses and all. But we always believe there should not be any kind of conflict or friction between employee and employer. So these are some of the principles like non-violence. We never look for lockouts, unnecessary conflicts. Okay, there is always belief in communication, rewards, justice, taxation, integrity. These are some of the principles which we always follow from ethical perspective to ensure that people are getting their due rewards. There should be a harmonious relationship. There is a oneness in organization. Every person, every individual employee is happy with their life. There is a work-life balance. They are giving enough time for work, enough time for their life, and they are healthy. They are a productive source of society.